I got off track. I need to start again. Is fitness without stopping and starting possible? That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's dive into this concept of fitness without stopping and starting. I want you just to slow down for a moment and think about what's happening with daylight right now where you live. If you're listening to this at the time of its original release, fall is on. The autumn season has begun. And man, when I was younger, I used to despise this time of year when I could tell that there was less and less daylight. It was getting dark earlier. And I felt like the fun of summer was coming to an end. And all there was going to be was like 6 months or more of me waiting for another summer. All the fun was stopping, and I had to wait for it to restart. This concept got me thinking about your fitness and my fitness. And outside of fitness, thinking about our health journey in general. And this concept of seasons got me thinking about something really powerful that I know is going to help support you. It's a mindset type of episode here for you, but it's definitely going to support you and your health. And it's going to prevent that I got off track. I've got to start again. I stopped. Well, I'll just wait for a little while until I start again because things aren't just right the way I want them to be right now, that kind of thing, right? Your health doesn't move in a straight line. It moves in seasons. How do you like that? Sounds good, right? And when you understand those seasons, you're going to stop beating yourself up. And instead, you're going to start working with the natural rhythms of your life. Thinking about the year, we don't always want it to be summer, right? We don't always want it to be summer. I've seen some posts recently on social media. I love the season when the mosquitoes finally die, that kind of thing, right? We don't want it to always be summer. We don't want it to always be hot out. And we don't always want just tons of daylight and only a little bit of darkness, because along with that comes some of the other things I just talked about, the bugs, the heat, and lots of other things. So, and I've heard some of you that I work with on a regular basis, right? Oh, I can't wait till fall. I love fall season. I love making my chili. I love putting on my sweaters and that kind of thing, right? So we don't always want it to be summer. In theory, maybe it sounds great, especially if you're like me when I was younger. Like I said, I used to despise fall. I used to hate it when it was getting dark again. But if it was always summer, it would be exhausting. Seasons have a purpose, and our health works in a very similar way. So today I want to walk you through what I call the 4 seasons of health. 4 seasons of health, what they are, and I'm going to tell you about each of them and help you think about where you have been, where you are now, where you might be headed next, and just be able to identify what season you are in, because I know that it's going to serve you very, very well in making sure that you don't just quit trying. You don't just give up for right now. Don't let it go off the rails in terms of health and fitness right now. It's really going to help you to keep on rolling and benefiting from whatever season that you are in. But first, let me tell you a little bit about one of my favorite things about the season when it starts to cool off is a nice warm drink, right? I love that. I find like in the fall, winter, I probably drink a little bit more coffee than I do during the summer. I drink a nice hot cup or two every single day of the year. But for me, when it gets cold out, man, I'm thinking about that coffee first thing, that warm sip just gets me going. And for me, the best part of my day is having Life Boost coffee. And I'm not even kidding. It is so wonderful. That first taste, that first sip. Oh, just love it. Gets my day going. And really, it's become such an important part of my morning routine that I've stacked so many other habits, positive ones, on top of that first cup of coffee. The cool thing about Life Boost coffee that we have found, me and Amanda, we love it. They've got a bunch of different flavors, which is awesome. But those beans are single origin to avoid cross contamination of the things you don't want. They are free of toxins, molds, heavy metals, pesticides, and screened for all kinds of things to make sure that they are the absolute cleanest coffee beans that you can have. And probably the coolest part about Life Boost coffee for us is that it is stomach friendly, low acid coffee. It tastes so smooth and delicious. And the reason I'm telling you is that over at on my website, beginwithin.fit/toolkit, where I've got just a handful of things that I use regularly that I absolutely love and I'd love to share with you. I have a link to our, personal referral link for Life Boost coffee. You go over there, beginwithin.fit/toolkit, and you can get $15 off your order. So just find the Life Boost coffee little picture, click on I think it's the shop now button. Go check it out. Go get some. Just try it. You're going to love it. You're welcome. And before I fully dive into this episode, I want to ask you one other thing. Have you rated and reviewed the show over on your podcast player? Even if you're watching on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind finding the show on your podcast player and giving it a rating and review. Podcasts live on those ratings and reviews. They really do. That is what has elevated the Begin Within Health show into the top 5% of all podcasts. It's the great ratings and reviews from listeners and watchers just like you. So please, please, if you haven't done so, just go open your podcast app, especially if you have Apple, the podcast app, find the Begin Within Health show with my face on it, and just scroll down to where you can leave a rating and a review. Just say hi in the review. Tell me what you like about the show. Ask a question or something you'd like me to consider in a future episode. Happy to do it. But please, please do so. It helps me so much to be able to feel good about what I'm doing each and every week when I sit down and spend hours producing each one of these episodes for you. All right, let's get into the 4 seasons of health. I haven't quite covered this topic in this way before. And for me, this one, I have a feeling is going to stick around. I hope it sticks around for you. It's going to stick around for me as I'm working with my clients, as I'm coaching other people with health, nutrition, and fitness, doing their workouts with those kinds of things. I know that this concept is going to stick around. The 4 seasons of health. Here they are. I'm going to tell you what they are. Number 1, growth. Number 2, maintenance. Number 3, survival. And number 4, rest and recovery. Each one has its place. Each one matters. And I want to give you some practical tips to recognize each one of these seasons for yourself and what you can be doing in each season to get the most out of it. So let's talk about growth. The growth season, this for me is like, I would equate it to spring. Okay. The spring season, the growth season. I think this, at least as far as fitness goes, this is probably the season most people wish that they could stay in forever. It's when motivation is high, you're feeling good, your energy is solid, and you're ready just to take on new challenges, ready to do whatever it takes in order to keep moving forward, in order to make healthy choices and become and be the best version of yourself that you possibly can be right now. It's the perfect time to do 3 things. Okay. I'm going to give you each one of these 3 things about the growth season. If you feel like you're there right now, there's 3 things that you want to make sure that you are doing during this season. It's the perfect time to add in when you're feeling that push, you're in that growth mode. Add in new workouts, new nutrition habits, maybe set some extra ambitious stretch goals, things that maybe you haven't achieved before. Something maybe even you feel like, oh, that's a little bit scary of a goal. It's a good time to do that in the growth season. Number two, tracking your progress. Progress is visible during the growth season. So make sure that you do that. It's super motivating. And then number three, something you want to make sure that you do not do during growth season. And that is be cautious that you don't overload yourself too much. Take on too many massive commitments in terms of your health, but also in the rest of your life. Because, man, when you're feeling good, right? We're feeling good. I can take on something, I'm going to take on even more, right? So don't overload yourself too much, too fast. That's how people burn out. That's how we kind of throw in the towel. That's how we get into like give up mode, right? So if you're in growth season, lean into it, build momentum, but pace yourself. Remember, seasons change. And that's probably the theme for this whole conversation. So growth mode is great. Enjoy it, but don't forget, hey, this isn't going to be forever. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So number two is maintenance season. And this season, I would equate to summer, right? It's like summertime. This is where life is steady, but maybe it's a little bit busier. You don't have the bandwidth to just like, man, grow, add. Life is good, tracking progress. I'm just rocking it, getting great results every time that I assess my fitness and my health. But you also want to make sure that during maintenance season, you don't lose what you've built. So, three things about maintenance season that I want you to remember. Number one, it's about keeping your foundation strong. Number two, keep it simple. This is about maybe 2 to 4 workouts a week. I'm probably not trying to work out every day of the week during this season. It's about simple meal planning. It's about staying consistent with the sleep schedule the best you can. And then number three, I think the trap with this season of health and fitness is boredom. Kind of getting like feeling stagnant. And it's important to remember that's not what this is about. It's actually about progress because you're proving to yourself that this is a lifestyle that's sustainable. And with each of these seasons, let me just tell you, they might have nothing to do with the seasons of nature, the summer, fall, winter, spring. It just might be something going on in your life that requires that your health and fitness kind of shift into this season. So that's maintenance season. All right. Number three, season number three, rest and recovery season. Yes. Ooh, that sounds good right now. And for me, this is the one that I would compare to fall. Like it's things kind of are slowing down and you get a little bit more time inside, maybe a little bit more quiet time, slower start. Things are quieting down in the evening a little bit sooner. And that's for me, that's rest and recovery season with health and fitness. That's how fall feels. And again, things in life might dictate that that is what happens for you at any given time. It becomes rest and recovery season. Now, sometimes you choose it, like you take a vacation or you just schedule in a week. Hey, I've been going hard for a long time. I'm going to just deload, going to take it easy. Maybe I'm going to do some foam roll and some stretching in the gym and maybe take some nice quiet walks outside instead of hitting those weights for a week or so. Great. Okay. That's kind of a rest and recovery season that you planned in. But other times, rest and recovery season might be forced on you, like an illness or an injury, something you didn't ask for. But now, hey, there is no way that we're in growth season. There's no way we're in maintenance season. Now we've just got to slow down and make sure that rest and recovery is prioritized. And there's nothing wrong with that. Accept it, embrace it. And if you do, it is going to serve your mindset, your future progress so well. So 3 things to kind of keep in mind about this season of life, season of health and fitness, is that number 1, this is productive. Rest and recovery is productive. It lets your mind and your body repair so that you can come back stronger. You can prepare for future greatness, whether that's in the gym or with nutrition or whatever it is. Number 2, rest and recovery is absolutely essential because without it, you're going to end up hating fitness and health. Guaranteed. You are going to just absolutely burn out. You're going to get maybe a chronic injury, something that just nags you for the rest of your life. If you just keep pushing all the time, I'm in growth mode. I'm in growth mode. I'm in growth mode. I'm going to keep making progress no matter what, grinding away. No. Rest and recovery is essential so that you keep enjoying the process. You look forward to kind of getting back to normal. And then number 3, the trap here is to make sure that rest and recovery doesn't turn into I give up. Okay. The key is to reframe rest as part of the plan. This is part of the process. This isn't an end of the process. It's not a break from the process. It's just a regular part of the process that we all need. We need to respect it. We need to embrace it. So for me, like I said, rest and recovery season, it's like fall, and it's the thing that comes before maybe new growth. It's a thing that needs to happen in order for us to kind of push forward in the future and be ready for what's next. Number 4, season number 4. Okay. Here it is. I'll call it survival season. And this one to me probably equates to like the dead of winter. It's like when life gets really difficult, very stressful. Stress is high, work and family pulling you in every direction, and your energy, it's not there. Feels like it's just been drained right out of you. This is like a very acute um, period of just wildness in life. Something just massive happened, right? This isn't rest and recovery, but it's like full on. But as far as health and fitness goes, we're just trying to survive through it. We might feel like we lost our focus entirely, but I'll tell you what, understand this season happens. This is a real part of life. It really, really is. And for me, it's like winter, right? It's cold, it's tough, it feels long, but you know what? Winter isn't forever, right? Surviving winter sets you up for, man, a great season, the season of spring. So here's 3 things to remember if survival season's on for you in this season. The goal is not growth or progress. The goal is simply mentally not to give up, not to quit. That is a goal in survival season. Something else, a second thing to focus on, just keep it very, very simple. I know I said that earlier about maintenance mode, but survival season, keep it not just simple, keep it very, very simple. Maybe focus on 1 or 2 things that for you, you know, help you to feel your best, help you to just kind of like just keep a grip on health and fitness without entirely just letting it go and being like, oh, it's just too much right now. I can't even. Okay. So 1 or 2 things, just focus on maybe just one thing. Think about things like just drinking water. Maybe it's not even a certain amount of water. Maybe it's just drinking some water. Something very simple like that. Maybe just getting some movement in a little bit every day or a little bit most days, or focusing meals around protein, just getting some of that in. Just simple, very, very, very simple, doable things. And you might feel like, oh, this isn't making any difference compared to like when I'm really rolling and everything with health and fitness is going great and I'm tracking those great results. But here's what it'll do. It'll keep you from feeling like you just gave up entirely. And because if you do that, it's going to take a long, 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 long time, I can guarantee it, a long time before you feel like you can get going again. So just hang on to something. It keeps your identity going as a healthy person, someone who puts intention into their health and fitness. And then when this wild section of life, this wild season in your life, the survival season comes to an end, you've got even the tiniest little foundation to start from, to start building from. Hey, there's your 4 seasons. All right. The 4 seasons of fitness, blasted through them. I got a question for you. If you're listening and you're thinking like, hey, you missed a season, or you mislabeled them, or they should be like this or that, I want to hear from you. Like I said, I'm excited about this concept and put a good amount of thought and work into it already. But I'm curious to know if there's something else, another season of life that has affected your health and fitness, what that might be and how it might look. So drop me a comment, please, on your podcast player or over on YouTube. Just drop me a comment or put it into that written review that you're going to do on Apple Podcasts, right? Just put that, hey, Nate, that episode you did on seasons, what about this, right? I'd love to hear from you. Maybe there's something I missed. I want to know. Drop me a comment, send me a message. What other seasons of health have you experienced? What things have you gone through? Maybe something outside of those 4. Each one of those 4 seasons for me plays a very important role, and recognizing that they are part of the process, each one of them, growth, maintenance, rest and recovery, and survival. Each one has a role. Each one matters. The worst thing you can do is pretend that it is just growth mode all the time, that we are always on growth mode. That's not how life works. That's not how health works, right? And this concept, I think, is so important because it will help us to realize that we are succeeding even if we're not in the season of growth right now. So I want to challenge you, encourage you, just stop for a moment and ask yourself, which season am I in right now? And once you know, pick one habit that makes sense for the season that you're in. If you're in growth season, maybe it's, getting serious, adding some progressive strength training. If you're in survival, maybe it's just getting that water in. If you're in rest and recovery season, maybe it's just giving yourself permission to heal, permission to take a break and realize that is very much a part of your process. Your health isn't about never slowing down. It's about knowing your season, and it's about learning how to thrive in that season, whatever that season might be. So decide your season, choose one habit that fits, and keep rocking, keep moving, keep trying. Thanks so much for being here with me. I will talk with you soon. Until then, keep taking good care of yourself.